Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statement.
It's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
The world has got you down, with a smile on your brow. Put a little madness in your life. If life makes you unashamed, and comics are your estate, put a little madness in your life. Come give your mind a cleanse, tune in with pops and friends, to turn on your Roku box and net. Put a little madness in your life. Put a little madness in your life. Yeah, yeah. Put a little madness in your life.
Hi, I'm Kurtzauer, and you're watching the Madness Comic Network.
Yes, you are. What's up, everybody? Yeah, I look a mess. I was out in the rain all day watching Little League Baseball, so I had to wear the Hulk shirt because I wanted my grandson to Hulk up on that ball. Yeah, it was fun. Had a good time. But now it's time to go to work. And work means bringing out our guest for this evening. He is doing the countdown thing. We're down to the last final, hour and 15 minutes or something of this one. So I'm going to bring him out. We're going to talk to him. Y'all going to get to know him, and then you're going to go buy his book. Right? Right? So everybody say hi to Mr. Topper Helmers.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing? Yeah, I can hear you. Usually I play a whole bunch of ads at the beginning of the show and I give people more time to come in. You know what I mean? But I don't like playing a whole lot of ads before a countdown or a launch party. Because this show's about you. I can play all those guys' stuff at the end of the show. You know what I mean? So it might take a few minutes for some people to find their way in here, but it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
So you got the same rain we had all day.
Yeah. I'm in Southwest Michigan, and we watched, we knew it was going to get to us in the afternoon. We had the tournament, softball or baseball tournament for the Munchkins, and we knew it was going to come in. And it came in about 2:00, and then it was never hard enough to call the game, right? But I, dumbass, didn't take an umbrella or anything, so, I got wet head and all that.
It's all good.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, I had a good time, no doubt. But this, like I said, this next hour, this is about you and what you do. I love the shirt. I love the shirt. I know the Sinclair dinosaur. I used to have one of them blow up dinosaurs.
I'm just a big dinosaur fan. Have been my whole life.
There you go. There you go. I mean, I recognize it right away. It's like my dad used to get gas that place. You know. Do you remember the green stamps?
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah, all that. When I was a little kid, man, it's like it was gone by the time I was an adult. But you know, when I was a kid, it was like that was a big deal. Make sure you get the green stamps. It's like,
I remember all that.
we're old, Topper. We're old.
I don't feel old. Do you feel old?
No, see, I was telling somebody that the other day. It's like I'm like 35 with 25 years experience.
I tell everybody that I'm the oldest 12-year-old you're ever going to meet.
Yeah, I don't want to quite go that far because then people go, oh. I can't give them too much. You know what I mean? So you've done this before. This isn't your first campaign or anything. So
No, this is the fourth one.
yeah, so you have history in this and you knew what to expect coming in. But I have a little something I want to show you, and I want to ask you if this is anything like what you've experienced.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I think I'm bleeding. Am I bleeding? Ow! Ow! Nose and lips! Okay, ow. Can I... Ow! Wait! Ow! Please, Mr. Hood.
Oh my God. That's exactly how this one is felt. I mean, the first two, Cloud Raiders and Cloud Raiders 2, I had pretty much sealed the deal about a week and a half earlier.
Right.
And this one, it was like it was building. The momentum was going, but it was going slowly. And then about 2:00, I got a phone call from a friend saying, "Congratulations, you funded." And I'm like, "What?"
Man, I was watching it. I was like, man, come on, guys, we're only a couple hundred away. Can we do something with this? I'm posting on Twitter and stuff, telling everybody, come on, we're almost there.
Well, I appreciate absolutely everybody who stepped up to help. I mean, I can't tell you how badly I wanted this one to go. So
It's kind of what we do. And of course, we just met, obviously, only met you just recently, but this is what we do. Okay. We do our best to get people seen, tell everybody what's going on, bring attention to their campaigns when they start them, when they're ending them, in the middle of them. It doesn't matter. That's like my job, you know, and I take it seriously. And it's like, once I met you and you were out on the show, and it's like, okay, now I feel some, responsibility to help you get this thing funded. That's my job.
Well, so I sent you the first 2 books. What did you think? You like them? Dislike them?
When I do give you your review, it'll be in private.
Okay.
I haven't read them yet because we've had really uncanny amount of days without the power or the cable going out. I save my comics for when there's no power or no cable, because then I got nothing to do.
Okay.
So that's when I read comics. But we've had like a good 30-day stretch without any outages, and
Very nice.
But yeah, I will. I definitely will let you know. But I don't do reviews because I work this end of it.
Okay.
I don't do public reviews. I want people to back your books, be happy about the fact that they did. And the last thing I'm going to do is go out 2 months from now and tell everybody, oh man, that book was, okay. Or, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't do that.
Fair enough.
I do want somebody on the network to do reviews. I just don't want to be that guy. I've been asked to judge in award ceremony things and contests and stuff. I don't want none of that. I just come out here and promote what you guys are doing. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you for that.
That's it. That's where I get my enjoyment. You know, especially when I can go out and go, right on, we got it funded. You know, no matter what it is, it's like that's one of my favorite things is to type a post over somebody's campaign with the big old capital letters that say funded. You know, because I go for the little guys. You don't see me out here with the big guys. You see me out here with the little guys, helping them. They're the ones that need the help. You know,
I love watching some of these Kickstarters go, and we funded in the first 23 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible? You know,
well, now some of them they'll buy that help. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They'll buy that help, and then those some of those high pledges will go away later in the campaign.
I've also noticed
it's like they disappear, and that's kind of
the other thing I've noticed is I'm going to set my funding goal for $300, and if you hit $3,000, all of a sudden you're 1,000% over what you were trying to achieve.
Yeah,
I'm like that. Oh, come on, that's BS.
It's just so they can say they're funded, trigger the algorithm that puts them on the list of campaigns that are funded as opposed to trying to get funded. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And some of those guys, I mean, if they're already out of pocket for the books, and then they get $300 worth of pledges, ouch. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just depends. It's crowdfunding. It's like you use the money to pay to produce the book, right?
Yes.
You know, if you already have the money, it's not really crowdfunding. And you can set up a storefront for that.
Sure.
One of the things that another of the sites that I promote, I think I told you about them last time, Fund My Comic, where it's a comic, it's a crowdfunding site for comics only, basically, right? But you can set your thing up as a storefront to sell your overstock from your previous books.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you got your campaign for your active campaign for your number 3, and then right next to it, you got 1 and 2 in a storefront.
I definitely need to look into this also.
Yeah. I'll definitely point you in the right direction. Not only that, but when you get a hold of them to set up your stuff, you actually get to talk to a human.
Okay.
So it's less money. You get to talk to people, and the only people going to the site are people looking for comics because that's all that's there. There aren't no lawn chairs, drill bits. You know what I mean? It's like it's a comic crowdfunding site. So Kickstarter, Indiegogo, they don't care that much about you guys. They got Brandon Sanderson over there breaking the whole website when he releases a book. They don't care about comic books. They just ain't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's true. You know, the guy that built
it's hard enough to get it. You know, if you're an independent, it's hard enough to get the word out.
Yes, and that was the whole thing. The guy that built the Fund My Comic site is a comic creator. You know, so it's like he built it around what his needs are in a crowdfunding site, not what the guy selling tool bits needs from Kickstarter. It's like what a comic creator needs from a crowdfunding site. So he built it right. It's pretty cool. I haven't had anybody complain about any aspect of, you know, I haven't had anybody come to me and go, Pops, man, that sucked. I tried to do that. Nobody has done that. Everybody just puts their books up there. So, you know,
I will give that a try.
I do want to go into, before we get into the campaign itself, I want to get into a little bit about you.
Okay, what do you want to know?
You got credits, lots and lots of credits.
I've been doing theme park design for 34 years.
And explain to everybody what that entails.
All right. At this point in my career, I'm considered a senior concept designer. So you have an idea for Little League land. You're going to you want to build a theme park about Little League, for example, if that's what you're into, or whatever it is you're into. And you're trying to put together the funding and the money for that. Okay. And you can write up the most beautiful, flowery description on earth. And people are going to look at this description and go, what? I'm not picturing it. My job is to sell your prospective buyers on what it is you want to do. So my job is to come in. I'm not caring about steel graters or air conditioner vents or where the outlet plugs are. My job is to take your idea and expand on it and put in things that you're not thinking about and make it look fun. And that's what my job is. So I've been doing that for 34 years. I started with Walt Disney Imagineering in 1990. I was there for 8.5 years. I found out on a Friday night that my contract was not being renewed. They were going through a layoff. And Monday morning, I was working at Universal Creative up the street.
There you go.
I mean, Disney trained theme park artists you just never let them go. It took too much effort to get them to where you wanted them to be, and that was fine. I was okay, and I've never looked back. So I've done everything from at Disney, from Indiana Jones, the ride at Disneyland. I spent 2.5 years designing that. If you watch the Disney Channel and you watch the backstory of Imagineering, the segment on, I think it's like segment 7. I don't get me, I'm not going to be right on this, but the segment on Indiana Jones, there's a shot of two people, one sitting there and a guy talking to the guy sitting there. I'm the guy sitting there, and every piece of art behind me on that board are my drawings. So I went from there to fire drills for about 2 years, and then I went to Disney's California Adventure, flown up to Aspen with a couple Imagineers, and that's some funny stories all by itself. And I spent the next 2.5 years designing different parts of Disney's California Adventure. Universal, I was there for not terribly long because they were in the process of moving creative to Florida, and I wasn't being asked to go to Florida because I had only been with the team for a couple months, and literally went right to a company called BRC, Bob Rogers Company. And I spent a lot of time working on the Presidential Lincoln Library Museum.
I was going to get to that. Yes.
Okay. So I've got drawings that are physically in the entire library and museum. From the minute you walk in and look at the information desk, there's a giant billboard behind them with all the key buildings that were important to the Lincoln story. And then there's Springfield, and then there's different places that are important to Lincoln. Every piece of that art on that giant board behind the information desk is mine. I did it all.
Awesome.
So let's see what. So in between times, I would be working for different theme park companies, and I'd get bored. I was a workhorse. It's like I'm so fast at what I do that a lot of times you would have to wait for the writer to write a script, and this is kind of what they were picturing. A lot of times they would go, all right, we're going to do Little League land, go. And I would be off and running. And before the writer even had a chance to write anything, I've already done 10, 15 drawings.
Right.
I mean, I was that efficient at doing that. So somewhere in the middle of doing theme park work, I'd get bored, and a friend would go, so-and-so's hiring over at Stanley Presents at Stars Media. You want to do backgrounds and animation and layout? Like, okay. And the only difference between doing animation backgrounds and doing theme park work is, even though your perspective is probably 95% on target on theme park work, you can hide a lot of stuff by putting in the people and putting in the fun stuff, and popcorn vendors or whatever, trees in the foreground or whatever you're selling in a theme park. But in animation, your perspective has to be dead on. I mean, because somebody else is going to have to come in and draw the people or animals or creatures or whatever it is that they're going to animate over the backgrounds and layouts. So that was the only difference between animation and theme parks in my world. And during in theme park talk, everything was very it was like a wave. They're either doing 90 hours a week, or at the bottom of the wave, there's nothing going on. You're between projects and you're sitting there waiting to go. And, you've got stuff coming up, but, they're just keeping you around so you don't go working for somebody else. And that was fine. And during one of those periods, I started a comic book page. I had worked for DC and Marvel and about 10 other independent small companies over a period of time. But to make a long story short, I laid out a page that turned out to be page 6 of Cloud Raider Tales. And I did it as an exercise, and I liked it so much, I did a next page. And next thing I know, I had 5 pages, and then a project got started, and that kind of stopped and went away for a little bit. So over a 17 to 18 year period of doing theme parks and animation, when I had nothing better to do, I would work on Cloud Raider Tales. It was always in the back of my head that this was something I really wanted to tell this story. And that's that. So 17 years it took me to get book 1 done. And then it took, it went over so well on Kickstarter that I was fairly motivated to go into do book 2. So I spent the next year doing book 2. That went over really well on Kickstarter. And then I kept going. So the first book was 65 pages. The second book was about 72. And book 3, that is ending shortly, 83 pages. I mean, they're all 100-page books, but right. The actual storyline is 83 pages for this one. And I'm already thumbnailing and plotting out book 4. What I want to do with that.
So tell everybody. Oh man, I got some kind of an echo. Tell everybody a little bit about Bonnie.
Okay, so Cloud Raider Tales, Volume 3, which this is up on Kickstarter right this second for the next, I don't know, less than an hour, is called Bonnie. That's the title chapter of the book. And basically the gist of the story, it's a fantasy, but it's literally picture galleons, and everybody has seen, galleons and floating through the air. I mean, everybody's, Disney even did a galleon in the air animated series, Treasure Island. Mm-hmm. But the difference in my head was, as a designer, it's like, that's really nice, but a galleon works really well in the water because you've got all the mast on top and the wind pushes the galleon through the water. That's what makes it work. It's a sailboat. The sails work. And in my head, if you're going to put a galleon in the air, well, you're missing all the wind on the sides and on the bottom of the galleon. You can still set your galleon up the same way, or your ships the same way, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I designed the ships so that they were mast on top, mast on the sides, mast on the bottom. So if you wanted to turn to the right, you brought in your sails and the wind would move you around. So that's what this was about. So it starts off in a very weird way because it's not what you're going to be expecting at all. All right, so that's volume 2, or book 2. And
It's not a glare, people. That's the art.
Yeah, they're coming down in lightning.
Yeah.
And what happened in when you watch, let's say, example, Lord of the Rings, and you seeing all the elves leaving Middle Earth. Well, where are they going? They're going to some mystical island that you're never going to hear about again. Well, that doesn't work for me. So in my head, the elves just went to a different dimension. They're still here. They're all around you, but they're just in a different dimension. So animals talk, men talk, all the fairy folk, all the mythological characters that you would ever want can all live in this world. And to get back to Bonnie, the way the people, all these elves and men and animals and all these things that live in this dimension, if they want to come into our dimension, they basically ride the lightning in, and then they've got to catch a storm and ride it back to their dimension. Well, I also like playing with history. In the last conversation we had, I talked about book 2, volume 2, Palladium, which was basically about the Trojan Palladium from the Trojan War, which was a statue given to Troy from the gods. And as long as you had this statue, you were invincible. And to make a long story short, 2 of the Greeks find out about it. They bribe somebody who gets them into Troy. They steal the statue. They run out, and basically Troy falls within a couple of years, which was never going to happen otherwise, according to the gods. And that statue just goes. It ends up in Rome, where the Vestal Virgins had it, according to legend. If you decide you want to Wikipedia, look it up. And then I just started playing a Maltese Falcon storyline where this thing just keeps moving. It just finally disappears, and it ends up in our dimension. And so they go. There's a big chase to get to the Palladium to steal it, to ruin the evil empire and their armada of ships. So picture 17th century Spain wanting to be, domineer the entire world, and the Cloud Raiders are basically a small band of pirate-esque who are fighting back, but they're dealing with different kinds of ships. So to get to Bonnie, after the Palladium is stolen in book 2, the queen decides that, or the new queen decides that, she's reading all these books on 17th century pirates, and she's like, well, it's a shame we can't go back in time. And somebody goes, well, I think we can go back in time, and this is how we're going to do it. And so if you read a lot about piracy like I do, I read anything I can get my hands on, there's pretty much 3 pirates. There's 3 pirates in all the history of piracy that I've been able to find out anything about that just disappear from the history books. They know how the ending goes for just about everybody. I mean, they're hung, they're killed, they're whatever their demise was. They know the history of all these big bad pirates, and there's 3 of them that just kind of disappear into history, and they don't know to this day. They're still arguing over it. And Bonnie is one of those. She's captured with Jack Rackham and Mary Read off of Cuba. She's taken to a jail, or to a court in Jamaica, where they're going to sentence her and Mary Read, who basically come out and say, "I'm sorry, but we're pregnant," and so they're not going to murder a pregnant woman, regardless of how bad a pirate they were. So they put him in the jail cell. Well, Mary Read, they figured out, died in childbirth in jail, and Bonnie just disappears. Nobody can tell you. You can't find one thing that you can tell me that says this is where she ended up. They don't know. She just disappeared. And in my head, why not go get her and bring her to this place?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's going to happen in book 3. They're going to set Anne Bonny loose, thinking that she's going to put an end to the Cloud Raiders, and Anne Bonny has different thoughts on that. So instead of being the attack dog for the new queen against the Cloud Raiders, she says, "Yeah, I don't think so. I think I want to be in charge of everything myself." And so she just goes to war against everybody, and people start flocking to her, and she starts setting up her own pirate nation. And now you've got 3 factions. One can't do this because this is going to happen, or one can't do that. So that's kind of the gist of what's going on with Anne Bonny. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, dude, I just opened up and started looking at the interiors of these books. I love your art, dude.
Well, thank you. I had really good teachers at Disney, and I come at this as I had good teachers at Disney. I worked around amazing artists in animation, and I come at it from a very epic scale. I don't want to tell you a story that you can see on TV. I want you to see Lawrence of Arabia. I want to see, the sky is wide open in my book. And I close in when I have to, but for the most part, I want to tell this giant epic tale. It's retribution. It's good, bad. It's evil. There's a lot of humor. One of the things that you find out really fast that you might question in book 1 is there's no in this world. What's of value isn't gold or money or power. What's of value is socks. So literally, when you put your socks in the dryer and all of a sudden you come out and you go, "Where's my other sock? I've got one sock." Well, all those socks end up in this realm, and that's what's of value. So a pair of socks. So a pair of socks is really unique.
I actually was on a stream the other day, and it was somebody else's stream, but I was just there as, one of the people on the panel, and the dryer dinged, and I hate leaving my clothes in the dryer. So I put my avatar up, and I ran and got the basket, come in here, dumped it on the bed, and started to sort it out and get to the end, and I had one sock left in my hand. Tell your people I want my sock back.
So literally, Cloud Raiders, the scratch your head moment from the very beginning of the book, from the very first moment that our Cloud Raiders takes its first ship, and they do a pirate number on the ship. But what happens is the ship is filled with just crates of socks, just single socks, and so they think they're all rich. So I've got these kind of quirky moments in all of this. It's book 3 has a very funny moment that I'm not going to ruin. There's a little teaser piece of art if you keep scrolling up that isn't going to make any sense.
I love that. I don't care what anybody says. That storm on the sea, yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. That panel right there.
This one?
Yeah, it's one panel of a 3-page little in the middle of the story that you're just like, what the hell is he talking about? But if you're paying attention to and obviously I'm just showing you the art. I'm not putting in any of the balloons here because I don't want to ruin any more of the story than I have to. When I want you to read the story, I want you to enjoy the story. If that makes any sense.
I got a friend of ours in the backstage.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I got a friend of ours in the backstage.
Okay.
Check this out. You guys know this guy.
Hi, I'm Kurtz-Sauer, and you're watching the Madness Comic Network.
He coming on? There he is.
Hey, how we doing?
What's up, Kurt?
Fine. So are you still in Iowa?
I am still in Des Moines. Yep,
Or Des
coming
Moines?
to you live from Des Moines. Yeah,
So how'd the con go?
it's going well. I did all right yesterday, but did a lot better today. So yeah, I had a good Saturday, definitely.
Yeah, well, heck, now I want to show everybody your stuff that Topper did for you too.
For those who don't know or who's ever listening, Kurt has got a book on Kickstarter that ends on Monday night.
Yeah.
Spectrus and Sabanian book number 5 that I did all the interior art for, and I did one of the covers. I think there's 5 variant covers that you did?
I think
4. I think four for this one.
Okay, I'm a complete liar. So there's 4.
I kept it down to 4 this time. You know, trying to be responsible.
Hey, look, it's the dang tarot cards blow me away.
They're amazing covers. Park is an amazing artist.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
But hey, real quick, I'm gonna play that trailer because we're gonna be back here Monday night, right back here, doing this again with Kurt.
That's right, counting it down again.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play Kurt's trailer real quick, and then we'll come back and you guys can tell people how you met and all that kind of stuff. Right? We got time. We got time.
We got.
That's the link over there for that one. Also, Topper's awesome work. So, double down on some Topper right now this weekend. Do it.
So if you can't get enough, you can also pick up Spectrus and Sabanian books 1 through 4, also on there.
Wow, Topper.
Yeah, this is issue 5, Topper. Remember?
But I'm saying as add-ons, I think you can still get books 1 through 4.
Oh yeah, you can get the whole series. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So if you're not familiar with the stuff, if you're into horror, if you're into just some very unexpected twist, I'm not a horror guy at all, and I love drawing this. There's so much history and fun, and I love just telling that kind of stuff.
Dude,
this is perfect for me.
So before you guys tell everybody how you met, I'm going to tell you all how I met Kurt real quick. I met Kurt at a con, and he was selling books, and I was doing short interviews with all the art people that did comics there, because this is a comic network, and it made sense, right? And we met Kurt, and we talked to Kurt for a while, and he did that little short spot for us, and we turned to walk away, and Kurt's like, "Hey, Pops, you want the books?" Oh, well, my broke ass. I'm like, "Well, yeah." But he gave me the books. I came home, and the next time the power went out, I read them. I told Topper about that. It was like, you got to wait till the power goes out. Because I got something else to read. Look, Kurt, I got some more.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I got some more to read.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the power to go out so I can read these.
There we go.
It's one of those things.
Impressive. I mean, Topper, how many pages in this one, Topper? 83, right?
Yeah, these are books. They're, these are.
That's pretty amazing.
I mean,
they have some thickness to them,
The 3 of them together, it's over 200, like 220 pages of story.
There you go.
I'm not messing around with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting warmed up.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
So them ships in the sky right there, those are huge ships or what?
Oh yeah, those are
Okay.
giant galleons.
They're
Probably.
way off in the distance coming this way, like getting ready to mess stuff up.
Yeah, they're actually sailing away at this point.
Going to mess stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you go scroll down real fast, there's a really good. All right. Just keep going. Right there. That's probably one of the most complete ships for accuracy that I've ever done. And I've been drawing these ships forever. And all of a sudden I'm realizing that I've been kind of I don't want to say faking it, but all of a sudden I've got my rigging and mass and everything correct on this drawing. And it's like it's the last page of the book.
And those blacked out spots, people, are just the dialogue and stuff that he doesn't want you to see.
Yes.
The story is a part. But look, this man, is there a wider out view of this in here somewhere that I can look at?
It's
in one of these two books. Is there like a
wide
view?
Do you want me to send it to you?
No, I'm just wondering if I'm going to get to see what it looks like where the cannons come out and everything, you know.
Oh, in books 1 and 2, there's a lot of fighting pages between galleons. I mean, you're not going to be disappointed. I mean,
yeah. Then yeah. I mean, I'm already happy with. Just looking at them, I'm like, man, yeah, this is going to be fun to read. It's not going to be a 5-minute read. It's going to be fun to read. I can already tell it's going to be something that you're going to be going back and checking to see if that's what you thought you read. Really? Because you got a little forward and you went, whoa, wait a minute. Is that what I read back there? Yeah.
And just know that when you read book 1, all of a sudden I leave you on a major cliffhanger. Like you're like, what?
Good.
I had people who were really very annoyed with me.
Oh.
Because I leave you hanging in book 1. You know, so when you get book 2, it picks up right where book 1 leaves off.
Hold up. Now, wait a minute. Now I just looked inside the cover. I didn't look inside the covers before. Wait a minute.
I did drawings for you.
Yes, I did not know. I just now saw these, man. Dude. Check it out, everybody. Check this out.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Oh man, yeah, I can already tell I'm going to enjoy the ride. But look, man, I didn't know that. I didn't expect it. Just now, when I was looking inside, I was like, "Wait a minute! What is, dude? Thank you. This is awesome."
So literally, every book that I have sold, or let's every book that's been pledged on Kickstarter, will get a drawing. I'll do it. Yeah.
Look at this. There it is. That's what I was asking for. Boom, 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 boom. Good job. I like it. Hey, remember what you said about 12? I get comics in my hand and I'm 12 again, bro. No doubt. Good stuff.
When I think of my books, when I was reading comics when I was 12, I was reading my Joe Kubert Enemy Aces, my Star Spangled War, Batman. Oh,
I came in, I was a mythology guy. And, you know, I was above comics, yo. I was above that. And then one day I looked over and I seen Thor on the cover of a comic and I was like, what? Hey, Ma, can I get this? You know, because back then you asked Mom. You didn't have money. You just didn't spend money. You was like, Mom, can we get this? She said, you gonna read it? Well, yeah, I'm gonna read it. What do you mean?
I remember walking down the street, picking up bottles to get enough money to buy comic books.
Lots of pop bottles, mowing lawns, shoveling snow, all that when I was a kid, man. All that.
Right there with you.
I had the misfortune to live in Minneapolis.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like it was one thing to go shovel snow when there was 6 inches. It's another thing when there's 3.5 feet.
Oh, jeez.
So when I started my comic reading career in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, I was living in Poughkeepsie, New York. And people are going to go like, so? Well, at the time, DC, Marvel, all Archie, they were all printed out of Poughkeepsie, New York.
Yep.
That's where the big 4-color presses were. And I had no clue that all these comics were being printed in the town that I was living in.
Wow.
Crazy, huh? Crazy.
Yeah. Small world.
All right. So then you got all these beautiful pinups. And I mean, there's a bunch of them here. You know, like you got 6 different ones right here, I think. But you want to give character synopsis of these guys as we scroll through, or?
Well, Captain Raphael is the head of the ship that I've attached to.
Right.
He's my tribute to Raphael Sabatini, who, if you've ever read Captain Blood, Scaramouche, the Seahawk, or watched the movies with Errol Flynn, that's who wrote the books.
Okay.
They were all books. I'm reading Mistress Wilding right now, which was written in 1910. I mean, I've got about a complete collection in original Dust Jacket. I love Raphael Sabatini. So Captain Raphael is my tribute to Raphael Sabatini. The elf next to him is Fern. That's his first mate. And then the character on the background is a kid named Jeremy, who I'm not going to ruin the story for him, because he's the first ship that they take and end up with all the socks. He's hiding on the ship, and they think he's just this whiz kid. And there's a whole history storyline that is going to blow your mind. It's not what everything you think you're going to expect in this. Trust me, none of it is real. It's all just going to keep just changing and changing and changing.
Nice. So I love things that do that. One of my favorite shows, recent history shows, was Sons of Anarchy, because every time they would just come out of left field with something and then leave you hanging till next week, right? And you'd just be like, what just happened? And then you had to wait to find out.
And what I liked about Sons of Anarchy was literally not everything good was going to happen to them. Bad things happen to these people. And I mean, it's like reading, George R. R. Martin. I mean, every time you think you really like a character, he kills them.
Yeah.
I have no problems wiping out people and crew members that you just fall in love with in my book. That, not everybody has a happy ending here. It's a very violent world, even though you're trying to get socks.
So how did you guys meet?
Well, we met at a show at Northern Illinois, right?
Yeah, it was a Halloween convention in Lake County.
Yeah.
Kurt was 2 rows over. I came in as a special guest at the very end. I was able to talk my way into getting a table, and it was, how do I put it politely? It was a terrible show for me, because I don't think I sold anything for 3 days. And then the last day I made all my money.
There you go.
But I mean, for 3 days, you're talking about
It's discouragement.
sell a 10-cent sticker, right? I mean, nobody was looking at my stuff at all. And we're talking to Kurt, and he had this book, Spectres and Sabanian, and he had a zero ash can issue, the black and white.
Right. I also had the first. I actually had the first version of issue 1 was also done, and it was okay. I wanted to go with a different artist, and I think you asked me to help you fix something.
I was having a problem with some kind of Apple something I had.
Yeah, you had a tablet or something.
And it just wasn't working. So we started talking, and we traded information. I said I would love to work with you, and he was in the National Guard and went off to Jordan for 2.5 years.
Not quite that long. I was going about a year.
Okay, I'm a liar again.
It was a long time ago.
It felt like 2.5 years. Just say it like that.
Yeah, it felt like a long time, but yeah, I was gone about a year. Yeah.
So when he came back, he contacted me, and I was like, "Who?"
Well, no, we were working on it while I was over there. Remember?
Yeah,
I'm just pages for issue number 1.
I like you, Topper.
That was yeah, no, that was all going on while I was over there, and it was cool. We got it all done and printed right around the time I got back, and yeah, no, Topper. I remember he asked me, "Hey, I want to do a comic. Let's do a comic." And I was like, "Hey, I want to revise it." We revised the art, and I expanded the story. I think the original book was like 28 pages, and we stretched it out to 32 or 36. I can't remember how much. I think it's 32 for book 1. But yeah, no, we've been just clicking ever since. We've been moving right along. It's been a good time. It really has been.
It's awesome.
All right, so here's one of my favorite stories. So we're doing book 4. I haven't gotten the script yet for book 4, and he goes, "I need do Cleopatra at her palace." I'm like, okay, double page. Like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's all he told me. And I've got Cleopatra on her balcony overlooking the Bay of Alexandria, the lighthouse in the background. I mean, this is all the stuff I'm drawing because this is the stuff that I know about the history of Egypt. And I don't have anything saying, yeah, let's put Caesar's, ship here, and he's coming on board, and the people of Alexandria are getting out of the way as Caesar and the Romans are marching towards Cleopatra. And I got to draw downtown Alexandria with Cleopatra and all her body people and slaves and musicians and
the lighthouse. You put the lighthouse in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live for moments like that. So that was the first page, and I think that's like a third of the way through the book when it actually makes its appearance in book 4. But again, doing these books, I'm not a horror fan. It's like I have enough problems. I get paid way too much for my imagination as it is, and to me, those people are out there. The axe murderers are out there. I don't need to think about it.
That was always me. It was like, man, I just can't. I like some horror movies, but I don't like just the straight slashers because they give the loonies ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, I can watch Universal horror films all day long. I mean, I've got them all. Dracula and Frankenstein and the Wolfman. I mean, I love that stuff. But slasher.
You remember that movie Fatal Attraction?
Oh.
Do you remember that movie?
Now that's something that could really happen,
That's something that they actually apply that term to court cases, to criminal cases in certain terms. Now, it became a genre of crime. I mean, they attached that title to that genre of crime. That jilted girlfriend side, whatever, right? They didn't used to call that Fatal Attraction in court cases, but they do because of that stupid movie.
Well, I'm sure they've always been psychos, though.
Yeah.
Psycho.
That's what I mean. It just gives them new ideas.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's already loonies out there. Don't give them a script.
So to get back to Spectres and Sabanian, those books, Kurt gives me enough historic background that I'm just having fun with drawing this stuff. I'll draw the slasher stuff when I need to draw it. I mean, I seem to do that fairly well, even though it gives me nightmares. But but he gives me enough.
Well,
he gives me enough history that I really, you know, a lot of the current book is in a museum. You're asking me to do stuff that I do for a living. I mean, I love drawing museums.
yeah, I figured that would be fun. Yeah.
You know, it's like he didn't say, well, let's do an Egyptian wing or, you know, a Knights of the Round Table wing or, you know, a dinosaur wing. I just draw that stuff because I like drawing it.
And that's the link right there to go check those out. You can go check those out too. But tonight, buy this one, and then tomorrow, go buy that one.
Yes.
We're gonna be back. We're gonna be back on Monday, and we're gonna do the same thing with that campaign. We're gonna come out here and we're gonna cover it top to bottom. Who's Pirate Alea?
So Alea starts off. So I had pretty much drawn all of book one, and I wasn't happy with. It just felt like it was just A to B to C to D. And I wanted the story to be a little bit more complex. And I finally had this epiphany of something I could really do to really turn this book around. And I start off with the first five. I go back and I redid the first 5 pages. And Alea is this girl growing up in Iowa who is going to be she thinks she how do I'm trying not to ruin the story for people, but basically she's from my dimensional world, but she's been put here on Earth to protect her, if that makes sense.
Right.
And that's so when she actually gets dragged back to that fantasy, she thinks is just, you know, stories that are a cousin has been telling her. You know, that she's been drawing these stories thinking that, you know, he's coming up with this great world, not realizing that he's telling her stories about his growing up and him protecting her. And she doesn't know any of this. So when she goes back, we put her story in a whole tailspin that you're not going to see coming at all. And she goes through some very severe character flaws and changes, and
that's my kind. Yeah.
So here I've got her just as Pirate Alea.
Mm-hmm. That's my kind, though. The kind that's you know, just a mess, but you love her anyway. That's my kind.
This is one of 2 sisters, Fern and Moss. They're elf sisters. Fern here is an archer, and her sister is a swordswoman, and they're both badasses.
Okay, now I see the centaur on the side of the ship over there.
Okay,
What's
so
up
the Black Centaur is the Captain Raphael. She and her sister and a couple other characters are all the crew members for the Centaur, the Black.
Okay.
So that's her ship in the background. So
Right.
she's actually boarding another ship and screwing somebody's life up.
Cool. Okay. And party time with Captain Mana and Fola. What's up?
Okay, Captain Mana is kind of like she. If you look at the design on the back, her ship is called the Black Cat 8, and it's all cats. And
Okay.
Captain Mana is the one on the left, and her first mate is Fola.
All right. I like the 8-ball in the background. See that? I like it. All right.
Frecky.
I have a feeling that this is the guy.
He's a badass too. He's a character that's on Captain Raphael's team, a crew, and he's not messing around. Captain Raphael's a lion. Frecky obviously is a wolf.
Yeah, I like him. I'm sorry. I like him. He's awesome. Is that a reward for him on the poster behind him?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And the guy that didn't quite make it with his blood staining dripping down the walls. Oops. Oh well.
And Koza.
All right, so she's got a very sordid storyline. I have to make it really clear to anybody who's listening. Cloud Raider Tales is fairly PG. I mean, there's maybe a handful of words through 220 pages of story that you could hear on any nightly TV show.
Right.
There's no nudity. I mean, there's some very sexy drawings, but there's no nudity. There's nothing that's vulgar.
Right.
I mean, I think of it as I work for Disney for a living. You know, we can't put Nazis in Disneyland, and we can't put, nude women.
That's probably a good thing that you can't.
Well, I mean,
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. Okay?
No. But I mean, in the story of Indiana Jones, when we were first designing the ride at Disneyland, the first 6 months of our design work, if you think about where we were in 1990, there wasn't a whole lot of information about Indiana Jones. There was 3 movies.
Right.
There was no Indiana Jones TV show. There was a couple paperbacks. There was no comic books yet. So there was all we had to go on was the original serials that Lucas and Spielberg were looking at. But if you think about book 1 or movie 1 and 3, Indiana Jones is racing with the Nazis to get to the artifact before the Nazis get it. And so when we were first coming up with the Indiana Jones ride, I probably did several hundred drawings that had Nazis in them. I mean, you were racing against the Nazis to get to whatever the artifact was that we were trying to get to. And at some point somebody goes, guys, we're never going to put Nazis in Disneyland. It's just not going to happen. But I did at least several hundred drawings that had Nazi tanks and Stuka attacks, and I mean, and German Nazi soldiers and SS. I mean, that's what
Indiana Jones is. Yeah,
what they expect.
But it was just, I mean, the reality was, yeah, we're never going to put any of that stuff in Disneyland, and it just kind of went away.
All right, so you got even more. You got Captain Raph.
Okay.
I'm partial to the name Raphael anyway. He's my favorite turtle, so I like this guy.
Well, again, he's my tribute to Raphael Sabatini.
Yeah, I like it. And here again, you got Anne Bonny, and the wolf behind her.
This is a different wolf. There's a lot of these characters. So, I mean, I kept seeing him not so much as a wolf, but more of a jackal or a hyena type. Her crew, when she finally starts to put together her own crew, is as bloodthirsty as they're going to get. I mean, she's going to get a reputation as fairly bloodthirsty.
There is a hardcover edition too, guys. Hardcover edition over here.
There's only 100 of those. And I, again, for every soft cover and hardcover pledged, I will do a drawing in every single book.
Awesome. And there is a comic book for kids too, guys.
Yeah.
I haven't got an award from them once.
You're what?
I even got an award from them once. From Comic Books for Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an award from them once.
They're going to do really well because for every book that is donated to them, I will match it.
Yeah, it's great, man. You guys, the kids in hospitals, they get books. They get new, fresh indie comic books. Okay, now that's not saying they don't get others, mainstream books too, but this is your opportunity to put your books in kids' hands. And if the kids of this new generation fall in love with comics, they'll be the artists and the writers of the next generation. But they got to find a love for it. That means you got to put it in their hands, man. And there's nobody that needs a comic to read more than a kid that's laying in a hospital bed.
Okay, so up front and honesty, I don't think any of because I've given, I don't know, maybe 100 copies of 1 and 2 to Comic for Kids. I don't think any of them went to hospitals. I think they all went to the military. Because,
they have the troops too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, even though Cloud Raiders isn't there's nothing nude or the language isn't terribly harsh, it can be a little bit on the violent side.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why it's not being given to children in hospitals, but being sent to the military.
Troops is cool too.
And I'm completely good with that.
Soldiers like comics too, guys. That right, Kurt?
You betcha.
Did you go to the PX and get comics when you were over there?
Actually, I got them delivered from what's that place in New York? I had them delivered in the APO. What's the big comic place in?
I don't live in New York.
I'll hold on.
15 minutes left, people. 15 minutes left to go get this book. Link is right there.
Midtown Comics.
Midtown. Okay.
Yeah. I got my subscriptions through them. I get them every month. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
There you go. See, that's what I'm just telling you guys, though, man. Soldiers like comics too. There's your proof right there. Kurt had his being shipped over there. So.
Yeah.
Now, did you leave them there with your friends when you left?
Oh, hell no.
No, you brought them all home?
Yeah, of course I brought them home. Those are mine.
I don't know. See, because that's one of the things that is so different about comics today as opposed to back when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, you bought it, you read it, you folded it up, put it in your pocket, you gave it to your friend, he read it, and went. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't collecting. It was we bought them to read them. It was disposable literature,
right?
Like the way that they look at manga today, right? They buy it, they consume it, they give it to their friend, he consumes it. You know what I mean? It's like it's not considered collectible. Back then, the only people collecting comics back then were the people that were setting up the industry for grading and the scam that is. Oh, I'll get into that some other time. I mean, back then when I was a kid, that's not how we consume comics. They didn't go on a bag and a board. And you know what I mean? We didn't have short boxes. It wasn't like that the way it is today. I mean, even my grandkids, they got a short box with comics in bags and boards, and you know what I mean? It's not how we did it when I was a kid.
So there's 10 minutes left on this.
Yep, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
What else we got here? What else do we got? We got volumes 1, 2, 3. The whole banana right there. If you need to catch up and you want it in physical form, $75.
I've got actually a very few copies of hard. I mean, I can still put together a few sets of hardcover 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, cool.
Soft covers I've still got.
We got hardcover with the drawing on the inside. Yes.
All right. So, for example, the sketches that you showed were
right.
They're 5, 6, 7 minute sketches. The ones that I do for the $75 on the hardcover is a really nice pencil drawing.
All right, cool.
Nice and tight.
That one's gone, people.
There's a couple of them that are gone, and I just didn't get.
That was good. That was a nice one too. Look at that. Oh, I like that one too.
I really enjoyed drawing Anne.
I really like that one. That was sweet. She's everywhere, guys. She's all over the ship. Just watch out. Just watch out. Topper, man. You've been everywhere and done it all, bro.
Well, I just picked up another theme park job yesterday that I have a big meeting on Monday. Slated for Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
I think. It's a Middle Eastern country, I know that. But I think it's Saudi Arabia. But
7 minutes left, people. 7 minutes left. You can get all three. You can get number 3.
yeah, give Topper a bump here.
Yeah. Need a little cushion, man. Need a little cushion. He's like, almost 300 over the funding goal, but you guys know how that works. Give him a little cushion to work with. Come on. Help a brother out. Look at all this original art, dude. See, I go down here now. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to see the one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at those, man. Good stuff.
thank you.
Beautiful. And you can even be drawn in, guys.
Yeah, we did that for Spectrus and Sabanian. We've killed off a couple people. They wanted to be murdered. What the?
Why
Yeah,
not?
luckily the guy, this issue that's on right now, yeah, the guy's a horror fan, and yeah, we did him in. We did him in right. It was pretty gruesome.
And the first 3 pages.
Yeah, the book opens with a bit of a bang, but
And look, guys, you can get a page. You can get page art.
yeah, Topper
Page
doesn't part. Topper doesn't part with his stuff too easily either, so that's a big deal getting a page of art from Topper.
It's not that I don't do. I don't know. I'm sorry. I put too much effort into getting these things done.
Oh, I can imagine. It's amazing.
And I've been collecting art for way too long to see how many people have sold comic pages, and then you see them 3, 4, or 5 years later going for $50,000. When they sold it for $100.
See, now I got some pages. I don't know what they're worth, but I got.
What do you got?
I got pages from indie comics.
Okay.
From people like that, do you know Glenn Fleming?
No.
He's done the Hatch comic strip in the UK for like 30 years.
Okay.
And I have a page that he did where actually my image is featured in it.
Oh, nice.
And Hatch lives on an asteroid and has never interacted with any other entity in his whole 30 years. And he doesn't interact with me, but he's actually wearing a suit of me. He gets out, I come out of the hatch, and then he takes the suit off. You know what I mean? But it's like, he featured me in it. I was like so blown away. But I have a Incantessi page and a Life on Korra page. And let's see, I think a Bill Moss page. From Nera X, a couple different things.
Yeah, oddly enough, I don't collect a lot of comic book pages. I've got a lot of comic illustration.
Right.
I've got Prince Valiant originals and Frazetta, and I mean the guys, Jeff Jones and Williamson and Krinkle and Kaluta and Wrightson. That's the stuff I collect.
Yeah, well, if I can afford, if I can buy a Wrightson, I don't want. Trust me.
but to be honestly, when I was buying that stuff, the guys were all still alive. I either knew them, or it was still. I mean, it might have been expensive, but it was affordable. Not like today,
right? There's a guy named Andrew Mangum. He did Hatch, and he does a lot of covers. Done a lot of Chaos covers, I think some Dynamite covers and whatnot. But he did the book Hatchet, the serial killer. You know, the guy with the big old scar on his face.
Okay.
You know, the first piece of art I bought was from him, and I sent him some money, and he sent me the art with a bunch of other cool stuff, right? And I was like, no, dude, I'm trying to help you make money. It's like I sent you money for the art. Now I feel like I gotta give you some money for all this other stuff. So I sent him some more money, right? So what's he do? He sends me some more autographed comics.
That's nice. That's cool.
Yeah, Andrew's awesome. But he sent me a published, I think it is a published panel from a Hatchet book. And it is just an amazing piece of art. And it was like the first thing I ever bought. You know, I've gotten a lot of cool stuff since then, but that piece still like centerpiece of my wall. You know, what do we got left? 1 minute? One?
Really?
2 minutes, people. Come on.
What's it at?
We had 45 backers, 57.71.
Okay.
We have people watching. Come on, yo. Last chance, guys. Last chance to get this one. 116 seconds to go. Look. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to get them. There's no question about whether or not you're going to get them in your hand. All right? You're going to get them. This is number 1 and number 2. And like I said before, this one, that is not a glare. That's the actual art. They're coming down a lightning bolt. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But number 1, number 2, number 3, you got like a minute left. Get on it, people. What can I say? Get on it. This is good looking stuff.
You won't be disappointed.
And it really looks fun. I looked on the ends. Look, it really does look fun, guys. And it looks like it starts out right from the beginning with some action.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning, like Mike Barron says, reach out, grab him by the throat. 1 minute. 1 minute. This thing's about to be done.
It's been a long month.
Let's see. Yep. 30 seconds.
There's no small amount of stress that goes along with a Kickstarter.
Oh, I know. I showed him the dodgeball clip. Kurt, have you seen that?
The dodgeball. Oh, from the movie?
Well, yeah, it's from the movie, but
18,
it's been
17, 16, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoopee!
All right. There goes fireworks.
Kurt, this is what I'm talking about. Now for Topper, this just got over with, but for you still got a couple more days of it. So
Monday night, yeah, is when it ends.
Get up close to the screen and watch this because it starts with the launch. But
Hold on. I think I'm bleeding. Am I bleeding? Ow! Nose and lips! Okay, ow. Can I... Ow! Ow! Wait! Ow! Please, Mr. Oh!
That's what a Kickstarter feels like.
Oh my God. Oh God. Oh yes, that is exactly it. And then
it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So like I said, we're going to be back in a couple of days. We're going to be doing this again with Spectrus and Sabanian, guys. Topper also did art for that. And if you guys ain't in like a super hurry to leave, you could. Well, I'll pull it up if you want to do a little synopsis of it real quick. That's up to you guys.
Okay. Spectrus and Sabanian is a supernatural thriller. It's the main character is a ghost, the ghost of Cleopatra's top assassin. She's lived into the modern era. She wants to find a human identity. She wants to be a person again. But she's also bound by an ancient curse to a demon named Sabanian, and the two of them, their fates are interlocked. They can't really exist one without the other. And Spectress is just a relentless personality. She wants what she wants. She's created this plan, and she's going to see it through no matter what happens. And maybe when everything's done, this will affect some kind of change in her. But right now, she's just focused on what she wants and her goals, and she wants to be an archaeologist. She wants to tell the real story of Cleopatra, her ward that she failed to save, and she wants to tell that story. But there are other supernatural beings out there that she doesn't know about. She thinks it's really just her and Sabanian, but there are other things that go bump in the night out there, and some of them are her fault, and some of them are not. So it's pretty intense. Every issue has a big blast of action. Every issue has maybe a flashback here or there. In this issue we kind of look at the Egyptian afterlife. Topper does a really amazing scene where we see the weighing of the heart ceremony from a lot of people know that one from the ancient Egyptian art. It's really cool. So we kind of bring that to life, and Topper's art is amazing, and Wesley's colors really just smash it. It's just amazing. And then we get into a Spectress has Sabanian kind of disguised, and she stuffs him in a museum and hopes and pretty much just assumes everything's going to be okay, and go figure, they're not.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens in this issue. Things blow up, and then there's going to be a huge explosion in issue 6, which will close out the story arc.
And there's a cover by Topper Helmers right there.
Yeah, that's the Bloodshade. That's a nasty version of Spectress right there. That's kind of her polar opposite.
Oh, okay. There you see the blue, you got the gold and the blue, and there's a difference between the two, correct?
Yeah, we're doing a limited numbered. It's going to have holofoil and gold foil and spot UV. We're doing a limited each number. There's only going to be 10 of those. Each one's going to be numbered individually. So cool. We've sold I think 2 of those so far. So 3 through 10 are still available.
And then there's that.
And there's the devil. Yeah, if anyone's a devil, it's definitely the villain in this story. It would be the Bloodshade. Yeah.
The tarot card covers by Mog Park. They're badass, guys, and there's more of those. So hold on. And here's our Stray Cat Strut.
There you go.
Gotta love it. Chris Enoch. Good stuff.
Yeah. Wanted to do at least one kind of more upbeat cover, and rockabilly. Spectress loves rockabilly, and she wants to she loves music, and she's even got her own little upright bass sitting there in her apartment that she rarely gets to play. So
she wants to jam, man.
That's right. Yeah, I love how he's got the music notes interspersed with hieroglyphs in there. It's really cool.
I love it. It's good stuff. Great art. And there's some more. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? In retrospect, you were right. There are 5 covers in this issue. Mog's doing. We're going to re-release issue 1.
Oh,
yes. This cover with the moon, and it kind of it fits issue 1. Kind of the anxiety and the intuition that are present in that issue. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
And yes, we already talked about this. You know what I want.
Yeah.
All of them. No. I just love what she does, man. Shit, been following Maud for a long time now. You know, I've known her longer than I've known you, Kurt. What can I tell you?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been following Maud for quite a while.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I run into people everywhere, and it's like just like when I found out about Toppers, like, oh, you got to come on the show.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as every time I find somebody, especially smaller creators, I want to get you out here and get you seen, and I ask everybody to share out the stream and share out these links because that makes my reach longer. Then you're adding your reach to my reach, and the more that happens, the more people see the book, and the more chance somebody else is going to buy it. It's all about. It's still word of mouth, people. We just use the internet instead.
Yep. Yeah.
It's still word of mouth. It's still you tell somebody, they tell somebody. I tell two friends, he tells two friends. Blah, 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 blah. Same thing, right? It's the same thing. It's just using the internet to do it. But if you don't click them buttons, it don't happen. It's pretty simple, man. It's all designed to point and click. Point and click.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at the interior art. This is amazing. Look at this. And old Doc would really love this too because it's got that Nor. And yeah.
Yeah,
Doc,
I love the way Topper draws the guy here. He's a North Korean colonel, right? He's kind of like a secret agent. He snuck his way here from North Korea with the Bloodshade, and they're after this thing that the Bloodshade wants. So
nice.
That's kind of what brings him into conflict with Spectress, yeah, and Sabanian.
And I like to play with the black, the white on black, and the Spectres, or the Bloodshades word bubbles. I like the white on black for the bad guy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's Letter Squids. He's I like him a lot. He's going to be doing my books from here on out. Yeah.
Nice. There you go, guys. This stuff looks good, man. Look, there's 45 hours left on this one. We'll be out here Monday evening closing it out, but just get it now. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Damn. Topper, you did that? Come on, guys. Come on. Go get these. And I can vouch for the fact that I'm looking forward to book 5 in this series. So
I gotta say though, the art was okay. Wes does an absolutely freaking amazing coloring job.
Yeah, Wes is.
He makes me look
pop. No doubt the colors pop off that page. I'd still love to see the line work.
He makes me look good.
That's what he's supposed to do. I'm surprised Wes doesn't get more. He did Wonder Woman Historia, which is pretty big. I think he said he still gets checks from that, which is awesome. Good for him. I'm surprised he hasn't been snatched up more.
Dang, I always know people that are looking for a good colorist. So maybe we ought to try to get him to come out with you on Monday.
We'll see. I'm not sure if he's too. Yeah, I'll ask him. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, he can hide behind an avatar. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to hear his story. I don't need to. He don't have to be pretty. He don't have to go.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. No, he's a great guy though. Just a real low key guy.
Yeah.
And real talented.
Anybody on the team though, or anybody you want to bring out, friends, anything, man. It's a countdown. It's supposed to be a party. Make a party of it. The more people we have here on the panel and sharing it out, again, like I said, the longer the reach gets. So anybody you want to invite out, guys.
How close is this to funding?
96%. I got about 250 to go.
There.
250?
Yeah.
It's right there. It's right there, man.
Yep. almost there.
$252.
And we hit the 48-hour mark. So my so followers get an email. So I'm hoping that we'll be there. Like maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
And you know me, I'll be playing the trailer all through the rest of the weekend. We got more shows tomorrow and stuff. We'll be playing it. We'll be talking about it. And then, gentlemen, I will see y'all's on Monday.
Yeah. That's so nice. Thanks, Pops.
Hey, it don't always work, but that don't mean you don't keep trying. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, that's the way I look at it. Very rarely do we have one go by like that where we don't get any backers at all, but sometimes it happens. I did notice that Alternative's out there doing a closeout too, and there's a whole bunch of people watching him. Old Pete Samedi. But what can you do? You get out here and you just hope people see it. So like I said, we'll be talking about the other one, this one, all weekend long, and we will see you guys on Monday.
We'll see you then.
Congratulations, Topper.
Thank you. And you're going to get there. You're there.
Oh, yeah.
I think I will. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And let's see. I should have a trailer over here about this one. Yes, I do. You guys ready? Have a good night, y'all.
Good night,
Pops. Have a great.
And yeah, I kind of forgot. We got another one that ends in just a day or two. So check this one out too.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to Punk Droid.
An ancient evil, billions of years old, wages war on the universe. Entire star systems are vanishing without a trace, leaving devastation in their wake. Nexus, the intergalactic guardian of lost souls, must stop the unnameable terror and its expanding scourge of destruction. The totality of everything in existence will collapse upon itself if he fails. With the fate of the cosmos in the balance, Nexus must confront his most dangerous adversary yet. Can he save creation from total and certain destruction, or will darkness reign supreme? Find out in Nexus Scourge, the all-new epic sci-fi adventure from Eisner-winning co-creator Mike Baron, exploding with Kelsey Shannon's dynamic artwork. Available now at baroncomics.com.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Just back it already.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands.